When John Guidi was 18, he had a big dream to leave Chicago and join the Marines.
In high school, I never wanted to go into college. That was never my goal. I started enlisting when I was 18. We had some discrepancies, but it all kind of went through when I turned 19 years old.
To help John get through boot camp, he kept telling himself it was a game. It was his only way to survive.
All throughout boot camp, for the most part, I was okay with it because I figured it was just a game. When I got into infantry training, I started swinging a little bit towards not enjoying it.
As time went on, that feeling intensified.
Once I got out of infantry training, I realized that was no longer a game. That can really take a toll on your self-esteem. I thought maybe this wasn't a good idea.
John met Salaz, an 18-year-old from California who was feeling the same way John was.
He was just kind of a convenient person to have because of the fact that he wanted to do it as well. And big decisions like that, are easier done with somebody else. He wanted to go see his girlfriend and didn't want to go on a training mission and just got sick of the whole general lifestyle. Every day you have to report in. Everybody gets together in their platoon and they call off everybody's name, make sure everybody's there. And if you don't show up, you're considered AWOL. So one night when his girlfriend came to pick us up from base, we just up and left and went to her place.
Not knowing what his long-term plan was, John only stayed away for 10 days.
The only reason I went AWOL for 10 days is because I pretty much ran out of money. And if you go to 30 days, it's considered desertion, and you would get a lot heftier of a punishment. So I called it at 10 days when things got a little too wild and returned. When I reported back, the first thing I did was I went straight to one of the psychologists there to just kind of throw my case out and explain what happened, why I did it. I went to her and kind of bawled my eyes out to her and let her know how exactly I felt.
But there is a heavy price to pay.
Yeah, I went through a trial. In the military, you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty until proven innocent. So I went through the trial and it was just pretty much them condemning me rather than me trying to state my defense. My sentence, I believe, was for 5 months. Good conduct brought it down to about 4 months.
After a week of paperwork, John was Chicago bound. At first, the transition was rough, but 5 years later, John is doing well at home.
I can say that I regret joining in the first place, but then again, I got so much out of it, I grew so much, not necessarily because of what they did, but because of how I handled it. I feel like I became more of an individual, and it allowed me to be more of a free thinker.
John is currently going to school to get his economics degree and works as a painter for a Diligent Painting company.